Welcome back, traders. Before we dive in, make sure you've watched video 1 in this series. If you don't already have a brokerage account approved for options trading, that's where we walk you through getting started. From choosing a broker to setting up your account properly. We won't repeat that process here, so hit pause and go back if you need to. Otherwise, let's get into it. Today's video is all about understanding options. What they are, how they work, and how we use them to profit without ever buying or selling actual shares of stock. An option is a contract that gives you the right, but not the obligation, to buy or sell 100 shares of a stock at a predetermined price, called the strike price, by a certain date known as the expiration date. But here's the key. We don't buy options to exercise them. We buy and sell these contracts themselves for a profit. That profit is called the premium. There are two types of options. A call option gives you the right to buy a stock at the strike price. A put option gives you the right to sell a stock at the strike price. If you think a stock's going to go up, you buy a call. If you think a stock is going to go down, you buy a put. The same profit principle applies to both. The value of the contract goes up if the trade moves in your favor and you sell it for more than you paid. Again, we're not trying to buy or sell 100 shares. We're trying to profit from the price of the contract increasing, whether it's a call or a put. We'll mainly focus on calls in this course, since the market tends to go up more often than it goes down, but puts are powerful tools, especially during market drops or when a specific stock looks weak. Let's walk through a basic example. Let's say you're looking at a stock that's currently trading at $95 per share, and you buy a call option with a strike price of $100 set to expire in 2 weeks. That option might cost you $1 per share or $100 total, because one contract equals 100 shares. If the stock jumps to 103, that contract might now be worth $3 or $300 total. You didn't need to buy any stock. Just sell the contract at its new value, and you've made a $200 profit. Simple as that. No need to buy 100 shares. No need to put up $10,000, just the premium. Let's say you're looking at a stock that's currently trading at $95 per share, and you buy a call option with a strike price of $100, set to expire in 2 weeks. That option might cost you $1 per share or $100 total, because one contract equals 100 shares. If the stock jumps to $103, that contract might now be worth $3 or $300 total. You didn't need to buy any stock. Just sell the contract at its new value, and you've made a $200 profit. Simple as that. No need to buy 100 shares. No need to put up $10,000, just the premium. The option will be valuable if the stock price is close enough to the strike price of your option that the premium or market price of the option is lower than the trade price. Now here's what's important to understand. Options have an expiration date. If you hold an option and don't sell it before it expires, one of two things happens. If the option is in the money, meaning the stock has moved past the strike price, your brokerage may automatically exercise the contract. That means they'll actually try to buy or sell the 100 shares for you, depending on whether it's a call or a put. This can be a big, unexpected cost, and we generally don't want that. On the other hand, if the option is out of the money, meaning it never crossed the strike price, or the market price of the option was never lower than the trade price, the contract just expires worthless. You lose 100% of the premium you paid. That's why it's crucial to manage your positions before expiration. We always aim to sell our contracts while they still have value. We're not holding to expiration, we're scalping the movement. We can always purchase options that have an expiration date further out. However, they are more expensive, reducing our profit. What do we do if our option doesn't gain value and the stock moves the other direction? We will cover this in a later video. We will dollar cost average our position. This is going to be very important to ensure we don't take losses. Let's talk about why that contract went from $1 to $3. Options don't move randomly. They respond to the stock in ways we can actually measure, and we use the Greeks to do that. Let's break down the ones you'll hear about the most. Delta measures how much the price of the option changes when the stock price moves $1. A delta of 0.50 means the option gains 50 cents per share for every $1 the stock moves in your favor. Gamma measures how much delta will change if the stock keeps moving your way. Think of it as the momentum booster. The deeper you get in the money, the more your delta can grow. Theta is important for us. It measures time decay, how much value the option loses just from the passage of time, holding overnight or into the weekend. Theta is charging you. We don't like holding long unless it's working fast. That's why we often trade contracts expiring within 2 weeks. Shorter-term options move faster, and while they decay faster, they're more reactive for scalping. There are other Greeks too, like Vega, which measures how sensitive the option is to changes in volatility, and Rho, which relates to interest rates. Rho isn't super important for our strategy, but it's worth knowing they exist. You should be able to adjust the Greeks on your options chart as necessary. For assistance, contact your broker. Delta, Gamma, and Theta are your core tools. I know them well. Now let's look at where we find this information inside Thinkorswim. When you're on Thinkorswim, go to the options chain for any stock. It'll show you a list of available contracts sorted by expiration date and strike price. For each contract, you'll see a few key things. The bid is the highest price someone is currently willing to pay for that option. The ask is the lowest price someone is willing to sell it for. The difference between the two is called the spread. The spread matters. A tight spread, like 1 or 2 cents, usually means the option is liquid and easier to trade. A wide spread, like 20 or 30 cents or more, can eat into your profit and make it harder to enter or exit quickly. Ideally, we trade contracts with high volume and tight spreads, so we're not overpaying on the way in or losing value on the way out. Strike prices are the backbone here. They're the prices you're betting the stock might touch or pass, and stocks with more volatility offer more strike prices and more premium. Let's compare 2 examples to help this sink in. NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, is one of our favorite stocks to trade. It's volatile, it moves in $5 or $10 chunks on big days, and the options are liquid. Now compare that to something like Ford, ticker F. It trades around $11 or $12 and barely moves a few cents most days. The contracts are cheaper, sure, but the premiums don't grow fast. There's no meat on the bone. Let's say NVDA has a $900 call expiring next week with a delta of 0.45, a theta of negative 0.08, and a spread of 3 cents. Meanwhile, Ford has a $12 call expiring the same day with a delta of 0.25, a theta of negative 0.02, and a spread of 20 cents. Even though Ford costs less, the NVDA option will pay more per dollar move, and you won't be losing much to the spread. You're paying more up front, but you're getting faster movement and better reward. That's why we focus on high volatility stocks like NVDA, Tesla, Amazon, and the rest of the major 7. So here's what we covered. Options are contracts tied to 100 shares of a stock, the premium, not executing the contract. There are 2 types, calls and puts. Delta, Gamma, and Theta are your core tools. Understand how they work. Strike prices and expiration dates matter, especially for short-term trading. Bid and ask prices help determine the spread, and a tight spread means better liquidity, and not all stocks are created equal. Look for volatility, movement, and liquidity. Don't let your contracts expire. We sell before then. In the next video, we'll get into how to set up our reading charts and talk about what different indicators do for us to help us know which direction a stock is moving. Thanks for watching. Let's keep building your skills one trade at a time.